What is up, internet? I am back, and we're gonna kick it off right away with. At this point, I'm just trying to catch up with how far behind. I am very apologetic and sorry about my apparent hiatus. There's a lot of stuff going on. I was extremely busy with work here and personal life, that kind of stuff. Kind of sucks. I hate not doing this kind of stuff. I really love doing the YouTube, but in the end, I do have to take advantage of opportunities and what I have and what I'm given, and I do need to put priority to obviously my personal quote unquote career, I guess. I've got to put making money in priorities first. Unfortunately, this is something that I do for completely free on my own time. Obviously, as you know, I do make money. It is advertised off this. I promise you it's very, very little money, just because I let the adverts on. However, that being said, I'm back. I'm glad to be back. Sorry to anybody who was disappointed, upset that I left. I wasn't putting videos up. I know, at least for a very small portion of you, I was probably I hope, maybe, I've heard it in the past, I was the preferred paintball channel on YouTube. I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate the support. I've actually had quite a few people messaging me recently, like, hey, are you done? Where's no more videos? Like, what's going on? So I do apologize for that, and I really appreciate the support from you guys and the paintball community. I've actually had a lot of people even coming in here in the shop asking me, what's going on? Are you still doing videos? That kind of stuff. It makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like I'm making a difference in the paintball world and the paintball community, which is, in the end, that's what I want to do. I want to make a difference for you guys. I want to give you, the best paintball experience that you can get, because I love the sport. The sport is my life. I've gone out of my way to turn this into my life, both work and hobby. Off time and on time, and I love everything about it, and I just want to contribute in as insignificant a way as possible, as it probably is. I want to contribute to our community because I love it and it's my life. So that being said, again, I apologize. I'm very sorry. I just had to put certain priorities ahead. And that's that. So here I am. I'm back. I'm hoping to be back. I know it's getting towards the end of the season, but I've got a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming up. I'll be running, actually, I think, through this winter fairly well here. I think I'll be continuing to put everything up fairly well. I know I got a lot of stuff backed up and planned. Obviously, Extravaganza is coming up in February. We got World Cup coming up in like 2 weeks here at this point. By the time this video goes up, it might be about a week and a half. I'm pumped. I'm excited for all the new stuff. Obviously, today, as of recording this, today's October 7th, I believe, Wednesday. So I'm wicked pumped. There's some huge stuff going on in the industry. The new M2 just got dropped. The CS1 got dropped, which I actually might have a CS1 as of recording this, like in 2 days, which would be super hot, and I might actually have M2s by next week. So as soon as I get those, I will get videos up to you guys as soon as humanly possible. I've got Dye DM15s and Geo 3.5s on this wall that I will compare it to and get you all the knowledge that you need to make yourself a smart purchase. So anyway, let's get on with this video. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm back. Here we go. Let's do it. Right off the bat, Clone 5 by MacDev. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm a big fan of this gun. I really like it. As you know, and as you've heard in the past, I've never been a big MacDev guy. I never really got into it. It was always, obviously MacDev was always a smaller company. But, my main thing, I grew up shooting smart parts guns and dye guns. I grew up shooting shockers and DMs. I never really got into the MacDev thing. Maybe I just wasn't old enough at that point. I was a little younger than a lot of the slight, I think, like the next generation above me. Like the old Cyborgs. That was, those are still a huge cult classic gun. From the mid early 2000s. And I gotta hand it to MacDev. I've seen actually, look at the Diam2 and the CS1, straight up copying a lot of the features of the MacDev, this whole generation. And we'll get into that as we go into it. So let's go straight into the gun. Here it is, the MacDev Clone 5. This particular one is the British Racing green and gray. I think it's a gorgeous color combo. I really like it. Right off the bat, just looking at the marker, it's such a sleek looking marker. I love the design. You get nice, deep, big body cuts in, milling wise into the body here. But it's not a lot. It's not too much. It flows right into the back cap here. It looks very sleek and sexy, but it's not too much. It's not, too much milling to like put me off or something like that. So right off the bat, I think the gun looks fantastic. Obviously, you've got the rubber contour grips here. You've got the full wrap, except for like the centerpiece in the back here is metal. This full rubber wrap on the foregrip, which is absolutely nothing but a foregrip. It's not a volumizing chamber. It's not any of that. It's just a foregrip. And you do have the rubber sleeve that they put on the barrel, which I actually, when it first came out, I was like, that kind of looks tacky. But as we've had more and more MacDev stuff here in the shop, the drones, the clones, that kind of stuff, I really actually do like it. It really is, like, it's kind of handy. Like, I'm a tech, so in the middle of the day, especially obviously on the weekends, when I'm teching everything, my hands are covered in grease or whatever and paint. Even as I go wipe them off and they're clean, from like the dirty shit, like the grease and oil is still kind of on my hands sometimes. So if I grab this off the wall and go show a customer or something like that, I can grab the barrel back and just take it off. Like it's really, really simple. And a nice, like, really hard battling day, at the field and stuff like that, you're going to be just as dirty. The rubber grip really actually does seem to help to me. And obviously you can get those rubber color kits that MacDev has, and they have a bunch of different colors to swap this on the barrel and the foregrip and the grips, so you can make all kinds of cool color combos, and it looks really hot. So I really like it. Moving on from there, it's completely, obviously, macroless. It's an air-through gun, although this complete foregrip, there's nothing there. It's literally just a foregrip. It's not a volumizing chamber. It's not in the LPR. It's not the HPR. The HPR is right here. It's adjusted through a hole right here in the front of the grip. So you get your tank and your air-through, and obviously, $1,500 gun, your standard on-off ASA right here, screws in, screws out. Adjusted reg right here. Goes up through the grip and into the gun. More about the grip frame. The trigger. I really like the trigger. It feels really comfy. It's got this like straight kind of katana style trigger, slash blade kind of trigger, I guess, what you want to call it. But it has just enough resistance where if you can shoot really, really fast, the trigger has enough resistance to return itself fast enough. But it's not too much where you feel like the trigger is going to slow itself down and slow down your rate of fire because the trigger resistance is not enough, and it's not going to return fast enough. They went with the same kind of style to suspend the trigger in between two pins going through the grip frame, kind of like a Lux. There's two screws right here and right there that go into the grip frame and suspend the trigger in midair on those roller bearings. And to me, that's always been the smoothest feeling trigger, I really feel. I've always loved the Lux trigger over anything, even the Iron Man Reach trigger. I gotta hand it to the Lux trigger. That's always been my favorite. And MacDev basically did the same thing, and I can tell you it feels really, really good. It's just enough, Obviously, the Clone 5 comes with an OLED board. You still have your two buttons in the back here, obviously, to navigate through the menus and turn your eyes on and off. So if you turn it on, one push, it's on. It's a nice, super crystal clear OLED board. It tells you everything you need to know. Very, very easy to navigate through the menus and everything like that with a combination of the buttons and the trigger. Excuse me. And they did a fantastic job. It's definitely a nice OLED board. I will give them that. Other than that, the frame itself. First off, the frame itself to the gun, completely wireless, which is super, super great. I'm actually going to grab, because I can show you so quickly, I'm going to grab a 1/8 Allen key and undo these two screws and show you. And my personal favorite thing about this, which is not really something that's going to help the consumer, but I think it's just like a really cool, smart way to go about it, business move on MacDev's part, is that the frame between the frame on all their current generation guns, i.e. the Clone 5, the Drone 2, and the Cyborg 6 is all the identical frame, and because they're all wireless, they could do that because they all have the same contact pad for the circuit board on the top. Look at that, wireless little contact pad, the spring-loaded little contacts. So because it's wireless, they made the same exact frame for all three of those guns. So if a frame goes down, first off, in their production, they only had to produce one frame. So they've just got a giant run of these frames. It's not individualized to every single gun. Super smart decision on their end. It doesn't really affect anything because the Drone 2 doesn't come with the OLED board. It comes with the window for the OLED board and the grips, but it doesn't come with it. So realistically, that's all they had to change. They had to make a different board for the Clone, Cyborg, and Drone. I do believe that the board for the Clone and Cyborg are the same board, the same OLED board and everything like that. That would make sense to me. But they only had to make one different board and one frame, which is a pretty brilliant move on their part. You know, definitely cuts back in the production process, makes it super simple, makes it a lot cheaper for them. And it makes it a lot easier for replacing. If you ever damage your grip frame, if you ever bend your grip frame or twist it or something like that in a hard dive, you never have to worry about, oh, well, maybe I hope they have this frame in stock. Maybe they only have like Clone or Drone frames in stock or something like that. They're always going to have a frame in stock because it's only one frame. And if they don't have the one frame in stock, they probably got bigger problems. But just back to the wireless thing, it's such a simple, brilliant design. And you've seen that now. The Diam 2 went that way. The Planet Eclipse CS1 went that way. This is where it started. I take that back. I don't want to say that's where it started because I know that I'm not thinking about some old gun way back in the day that did wireless frame. I know someone did it, but in today's modern age, this is where it's come from recently. I'll say that. This is where it's come from recently. I just can't think of where it came from before. So you have the wireless frame, and obviously you just saw Dye and Planet Eclipse go that same way. But you look underneath, and look at that circuit board that it connects to, and the solenoids there, and that's it. Look at how beautifully simple that is. That's absolutely brilliant. I love what they did. They just made everything so bloody simple. So all you have to do is pop the frame back in, put these two screws in, your 1/8 Allen key, which obviously comes in the box. I'll show you everything in the box in a minute. And you screw it back down, and you're good to go. So other than that, obviously the new style clamping feed neck, I'm pretty sure it's the same feed neck that's on the Drone. It's on the Cyborg. This really nice adjustable clamping feed neck that works almost exactly like the Dye feed necks, where you unscrew it and then you can screw it in or screw it out to tighten it and loosen it. But it locks pretty perfectly. It's almost, I swear to God, it's made for the Virtue Spire. It's just the perfect amount of length to take the entire Virtue Spire feed neck. Granted, they're now kind of business partners with distribution and all that kind of stuff, so it kind of makes sense, but, it's a really nice feed neck. I like it. Obviously, your tool is bolt removal. You pop out that back cap just like a Geo, and you pull it out. And what you have on the inside is almost identical to a Geo. So you unscrew these two parts, right? So if you look at this, it looks like a Geo. You've got the can, you've got the bolt, and you've got this whole back piece with this rear can and like the prop shaft. And just to show you how close, I'm actually going to grab this Geo 3.5 off the wall and just show you how close it is. So here's a Geo 3.5. Take this bolt system out. I'm going to put the Geo aside because we don't need the Geo. So here it is. Here's your Geo. I'm going to unscrew this. All right. So doesn't that look similar? Front cans, bolts. Oop, I knocked one over. Prop shaft, back cap. It's almost identical. It's kind of scary to the point where, check this out. Here's the Geo can. Here's the MacDev bolt. Fits perfectly. Here's the MacDev can and the Geo bolt. Fits perfectly, just like it should. And I swear, if you screw these pieces together, I'd almost venture to say that one of the two guns would actually probably work fine. It's kind of scary how similar they are. Do I think they completely ripped off their bolt design? I don't know. That's not my place to say. I don't know how this kind of design stuff goes down. What I will say is the Geo is for sure a proven bolt design. And the clones in the past have been super, super complex in a lot of parts. And they simplified it. And I don't blame them. It's a great working system, and it works fine. On the note of the bolt system, as I put this stuff back together, a note on the bolt system. I was actually having a couple problems in the first few clones that I've had, where the bolt would tend to stick really, really badly. And it would only cycle like halfway, or it almost like, I don't know if you're an old school paintball or like used to cockers or something like that, it almost like it would short cycle or a short stroke. You'd have that point where even if you guys are, anybody's familiar with axes, you have that issue where if a lot of crap builds up on the bolt and you shoot it, the bolt goes forward but it only comes like halfway back. I was having that problem with the clones. Talked to somebody at MacDev. They informed me that since the initial batch of clones, which is very soon being fixed, these O-rings on this bolt have not been the greatest quality. They've been having a problem with the quality of their O-rings. So these are slightly, I don't know if they're incorrectly sized or they're just not good material, but they have a tendency to be oversized and they have a tendency to be sticky. So this doesn't mean that this is going to be a problem with every Clone 5. Some of them might be completely fine, but this is coming from somebody at MacDev. I'm not just making this up. If you have this kind of problem where you're getting low velocity, no matter what you do, it's not changing, balls are just kind of right out of the barrel, and your bolt seems to be sticky, that is why. Bad bolt O-rings. They're having a problem with it. Easiest solution? Just replace the O-rings with anything. Even the ones in the MacDev kit might be just fine. Try those. I ended up replacing ours, obviously because I have all the tech stuff here. I just swapped them with Gennaro Planet O-rings from Planet Eclipse because I have a big stockpile of them, and it works absolutely fine. So basically, I would assume there's probably about a 50-50 shot that the O-rings in your clone may at some point just start giving you these symptoms. So that is why. It doesn't, I'm not putting this on MacDev. You know, they do O-rings, they're just trying to get them supplied to them, and they ran into problems with the supply and with the quality control of the supplier. I'm not putting this on them by any means because I love these guns. But that might be the issue. You might just have to swap those two bolt O-rings. So other than that, moving on, you have wired eyes. Obviously, you have your eye covers here. Grab this barrel. It's going to be your standard 3-piece barrel. I had a Clone VX. I don't really remember. Your tip and back are going to be reverse threaded, so remember that. Don't crank down on your barrel tip going the wrong way because you're going to completely destroy it. So if you take this out, this is the Shift 2 kit, brand new. Obviously, you can get all the inserts and everything like that. The clone itself comes with 2 inserts. Comes with this one. It's going to be a 685. I do believe the other one is going to be a 681. It's in here. I'll show you in a second. But they come out the front of the barrel back. Don't try and rip them out of the back. You will break it. So it's just obviously their classic Shift kit, just new and improved. It works a little bit better, I think. The sizing, as far as I can tell, is pretty on the money, so you don't have to worry about incorrect sizes. Again, screwing tip to back, remember, reverse threaded. Other than that, I haven't really noticed any problems with the Clone 5. I have shot, we initially got 3 or 4. The other ones are gone. This is the only one I have left. So far as I can tell, I have test shot all the other ones that have gone out the door. I've been able to borrow them and at least play like a point or something with them. As far as I can tell, I think they shoot pretty damn smooth. It doesn't have the tendency to have a lot of kick. It feels definitely just like a Geo. Obviously, you've got the same bolt, the same engine with your bolt, your can, and your firing poppet, that kind of deal. I'd almost venture to say that I think these things shoot better than a Geo. As far as everything else goes, you know, I like it. I couldn't recommend the gun enough. $1,500 is definitely a bit pricey. For what it is, though, for the small company, the service and everything that MacDev has been doing is getting better. They have the new facility in Florida that they put in, and a couple more going in around the United States as we speak, which makes teching and service and customer service a lot easier with MacDev. So I think they're definitely stepping up in the market, especially now that they're partnered with Virtue, so they can get their products out to a bigger audience. I can't say enough about the gun. I really like it. Obviously, the price point's a bit much, but if you're looking at a super high-end gun, I put this right up there with GOs and DMs. I really would, and Luxes. I have no problem recommending this gun whatsoever, as long as you swap those 2 bolt O-rings, or if you don't have a problem, just make sure before you buy that. So this video is kind of running a little bit longer than I wanted, so let's go ahead and take a quick look inside this case just to see what you get. Obviously, you've got the sleeve. So just quick, this is a square case, and this sleeve is as wide as the case. I swear to God, it only fits one way, and I don't know why, so just kind of deal with that. Open up the case. It's a nice padded soft case, kind of with like form-fitting foam, kind of just like a Lux case. So you've got your manual. It's a nice color manual. It shows you everything that you need to know. Somewhere. There it is. Look, color manual and pictures and stuff. So it's really easy. Other than that, it does come with a set of Allen keys, a barrel bag. It comes with some spare O-rings and a spare set of detents. They are rubber nubbin detents, but they're a little bit harder than Planet Eclipse detents, so I'd expect them to last a little bit longer. Even in the O-ring thing, there's a little O-ring sizing chart because these are not color-coded or anything. Definitely really helpful. Obviously, the manual tells you all the size of the O-rings that you need to do. There's your standard bottle of MacDev Militia Lube. Oh, I lied. Here's the other insert. It's a 693, not a 691. So you get 9.3 and 8.5, which is kind of weird. It is almost the 2 extremes. If it was the 2 extremes, you'd probably be down to like an 8.2, maybe an 8, maybe an 8.0 or a 7.9. But there you go. You got 8.5 and 9.3, which is a touch weird. So I'd probably, depending on where you play, unless you're shooting straight Walmart paint like for life, I'd probably just run that 8.5 insert and you'll be quite fine. Other than that, that's about it. Gun fits right there. It's got a little card on the back that says property of and like a MacDev logo, so you can be like property of MacDev and write your name. So that's fun. Other than that, that's about it. Doesn't come with a whole lot, but it really doesn't need to because it's a very simple gun and you don't really need to do anything to it. And you have my recommendation from before. Obviously, if you want to check that out, you can come in here and check it out at AG Paintball. Obviously, this is up on the internets at pbwarehouse.com. You can go check that out, or I believe this is actually up for sale on Amazon as well, because we sell things on Amazon. So there you go. This is your MacDev Clone 5. Definitely just like a straight, I don't know if it's an A+, but straight pretty much A in my book. I really like it. Not too much I think I would do to improve it. Obviously, it is, for me, it's a touch long. It's a little bit longer than a Lux as far as the grip-to-grip kind of length goes. So it is a touch longer than I want, but other than that, that's personal preference stuff. I can't recommend this gun enough. It works great. It feels great. And as far as I can tell, it shoots pretty phenomenal. So there you go, guys. There's a MacDev Clone 5. Again, I am back on the internets. So come check it out, watch stuff, and I got a whole list of stuff coming in pretty soon, and that'll be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video or learned something at least. If you didn't, can't hit you all the time, every time. Other than that, hit a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe to the channel. That'd be pretty sweet. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will see you guys next time.